Hello and welcome back to Journey 3000. It's day 36. We have worked our way back up to even on the scoreboard, but we are not in 2200 right now. So let's try and work our way back up there. I think we've been playing okay past couple games. I'm going to try to stay focused the first few moves this time, because last time we did another opening error, but here we got a Sicilian Taimanov, as per usual. We got an early c4. I'm going to play knight here. You can't play e5 because of the check. And bishop here. And I think we're going to challenge his move here. Right. So against this, I think d5 is correct. If I had to guess, we're just cracking open the center. d5, knight takes, pawn takes, e5. I feel like that's fine for us. I'm just going to try d5 here. Pawn takes. Pawn takes. Okay. So knight takes or pawn takes? Kind of like a knight takes. Don't know why. Pawn takes is probably objectively better. I don't know why that would be either. I'm going to play knight takes, just for experimental reasons. We can look at it after the game. Okay, here I was thinking... Alright, pawn takes is probably better. But let me go queen here first. Alright, my position... Yeah, I probably should have taken pawn takes there. But now we know for next time, but... I am wondering what to do now. I'm looking at this check here. And then here, the knight takes. It just doesn't seem like anything special. Maybe just castles, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes. Or some intermezzo of rook here. The problem mainly is the fork that is plaguing me. And this seems like just not very accurate. I'm gonna play it. I'm just gonna try to hint at this. Yeah, probably not the best move. It's just a weird continuation of knight here. I should have taken out the pawn. Although maybe he has like bishop here in that case. Alright. I'm tempted, very tempted to start with queen here. Pawn, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, king here. Then bishop here. I'm somewhat tempted by this little variation to get his king out. I just like the fact that his king's gonna be out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe I have to be careful with this move, because after he moves, the pieces once again will hang on. Maybe we got just checkmate in that case. So pawn here, take with the bishop, take with the queen. Isn't he getting checkmated here? No, he's not. I miscalculated. Maybe I should have spent more than half a second looking at that. Oh well. This king's definitely out in the open. Perhaps that's good enough. Though I wish I haven't left so many pieces hanging, as I have. This is a very bad move. Very bad move. Alright, so what should my play be now? Now that we've kind of messed it up a little bit. Maybe just takes, bishop takes, castles, and we're down a pawn, but we got play. Although pawn takes, queen here, it seems a little bit depressing. I really wish I hadn't played bishop there, but I'm guessing check, queen here, bishop takes, and we're perhaps suffering in that position. Just need to find a checkmate here. He's up a lot of material, isn't he? May have made some critical errors here. So we're going to challenge this. I'm guessing something like bishop here. Oh, wow. This is embarrassing. We're just getting checkmated. We gotta look at that game review. That's a brutal game. Yep, and we were right with our sacrifice too. It's just that, no, we weren't. We were horribly, horribly incorrect. This is terrible, terrible continuation. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I thought it was a creative idea, but it's just not good at all. He's always got play against my king. And I'm castling into where everything's open. So yeah, just don't do what I did here. It's pretty awful. I'm cutting out the first one because I think I did the entire analysis on the wrong screen, as I do usually after I lose, because I just don't pay attention. Yeah, so d5 was correct, which I was certain of. But here, c takes d5 is not correct, even though I was like, yeah, that's totally the right move the next time I'm going to play it. But no, it's you just lose a bishop immediately. The correct move is to castle, which is in the same vein of what I did in the game, except it's what I did in the game was terrible. But it's in the same vein of, you know, sacrificing material, in this case a pawn instead of two bishops. So probably better to sacrifice a pawn than two bishops for the same thing. But yeah, castling right away, and his king's going to end up very awkward in the center. He does not have enough time to castle, and he's played f3, so when he does castle, it's always going to be awkward. And instead we got checkmated, like, in a very embarrassing fashion. But it happens. It happens. Yeah, I thought we were, like, really cool here. I thought this was going to be checkmate, but he just has king f2. So that's pretty depressing. And I only saw that right here. So after I played this move, but I'm glad to know that I was losing anyway, because I mean, maybe if I take, like, we have a chance. Definitely taking here is correct, because I feel like the way we lose after that is much more abstract. Queen h4. Okay, here I can't castle, and I'm trading off the queens. That's very unfortunate. Anyway, it's just not a good plan. Let's just be honest. It's really not a good plan at all. He's only up a pawn here. Better than the +7 that ended up in the game, but it's okay. So next time, we'll know this position, just castle, which is kind of intuitive. Yeah, bishop here is a terrible move. Again, I should just castle. But I was worried about, like, the liquidation that would happen. Am I not? Wait. Oh, it's the same tactic, except used at a different point in the game. Okay. Well, that's also very interesting. I probably should have spent more time on that. I was just really excited about seeing this as a way to annoy his king, and it's just not a good idea at all. But sometimes we latch on to bad ideas, and that's okay. And then we got checkmated in the worst way possible, which is sad. But, you know, we won the next game, so it's all erased in the eyes of history. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been day 36. I'll see you next time. I'm going to play one more because the video is not very long because I lost so quickly. So let's go ahead and play one more game. All right, we got another chance at a Sicilian. Maybe we won't biff it up this time. Okay, we're going to Alapin. So we're going to go knight here, takes d6. If he goes bishop here, which he doesn't. Okay. Perhaps I should have taken with the queen there. I'm not sure. Not sure what my line is. Here, I'm definitely taking that knight. And doesn't he end up with some awkward pawns in this case? Definitely doesn't have enough of too many pieces left for a significant attack. And I'm threatening queen c. Queen c there. And he traded off his light squared bishop, which generally doesn't make sense. We got a better structure. And we're going to have more access to his weaknesses. Here, I'm going to just start eyeballing queen whatever. B3, move my rooks to the center pretty quickly. And I think we're going to be just fine here. Maybe if he does this, but we can always have this resource of knight back. Pretty happy with what's happening. Maybe we should slow down our moves too, because that's probably what cost us last game a little bit. Oh, the whole idea was flawed. I was just trying some things, and you know, not necessarily the most premeditated or sound things. And we paid for it. But you know what? I had a good time. Okay, rook. We're gonna do up this rook first. And I just think our position's good here, if I'm being honest. Okay, let's play b6 to threaten this. And then maybe like, I mean, h6 is fine to play here. There's just not enough minor pieces to really scare me. Up a minute, but there's so much time left that it doesn't really matter. We'll see if he can generate some pressure. Again, just a weird place to put his bishop. Just never going to get involved in the game as long as his pawn's here. So let's just keep developing in a sensible fashion. I'm going to do the same thing. I also want an escape square. Alright, so the main thing is that both of our bishops are kind of awkward. I'm making fun of his bishop this whole time. But what's my bishop doing? That's a question that needs to be asked. I don't have a great answer. He's going to reroute his knight like this. But we can always cut him off at the pass before he jumps into these squares. So thinking knight here is going to be a pretty stable move. This pawn moves up. We're going to just poke at some of his pieces. Definitely comfortable with my position here. Alright, he wants to play there. And he wants to access this square. It's a sensible plan. And I'm guessing queen takes, knight here, rook here, knight here, and we have rook takes. I'm thinking about trading off the queens here, so that way knight here doesn't really matter. Though I will say that this pawn would be hanging. But we can always just play here. And then his knight access, I just don't really care about it, because I think I'm accessing... I think I'm happier. I'm going to trade off queens. It's a committal decision, but I think it's correct here. Knight's covering this pawn, which will be weak after I play a6. And then my rooks are pretty active right there. No, not really. No, this knight can move. This bishop's covering it. And the knight will be there anyway. Alright. I think I've made an okay decision here. We'll see what the computer says. Also, we're hitting this, so he pretty much has to trade queens, right? Maybe not. Maybe just... Well, that also would be trading queens, wouldn't it? I mean, how can we complain? Like, look at his pawn structure. I mean, this isn't in the game plan for most of the whites opening, so I feel like we've successfully navigated this in some ways, but we'll see. Knight here, a6, knight here, queen here. And by queen there, I mean rook there, because that's the actual piece. Do I even want to play rook there? Now I'm thinking about knight here, a6. Well, now I'm thinking about piling up on this knight. Bishop here, get rid of the good bishop. Sorry, get rid of my bad bishop, of course. Or maybe knight here and threatening something like this. Knight here, the natural response is rook here. But then knight here, and I feel like good things are happening in that case. So then maybe knight here, bishop here, rook takes, never mind. That seems totally fine. Notice that his knight is also pinned to the protection of this pawn. And it seems like the time to both activate our knight and our rook in this case. I don't see any way he can push our rook around either. And we're jumping in. Knight's coming into some annoying squares. Rook here. Do we have knight here? I don't know. Do we? Not going to take this because it just gives him the center that he wants and it fixes his pawn structure. Even if we do have pressure on that pawn. Our knight's definitely becoming annoying. Okay. Just these moves by our opponent just seem really strange to me. I also now noticing that he has knight here, even though that probably didn't work last move. So my guess would be that he would have played it. So I'm thinking knight here and bishop here. That's my next two moves. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. These pieces are looking very pinned and awkward. And this piece is nicely protected. Our pieces are up in his weaknesses. It's very difficult for him, I feel like. We'll see though. Being very active against these two pawns. Predictable. Do I really want to play bishop here now? I feel like the answer is yes. Bishop here, knight here. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. We have played it. Problem is our knight, I guess, is a little unhappy, although now we are threatening. Now we aren't threatening that. I was thinking of like knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, bishop takes with check. Not an issue anymore for him though. How can I make this knight unhappy? Maybe something like a6, b5, although now he's got this threat, doesn't he? So maybe rook here. And then a6, b5. His bishop is a horrible piece, by the way. Just a terrible piece right now for him. And his knight's still pinned. So let's make sure his knight can't break the pin in a convenient way. By going here. He still has knight here, check, but we're up a minor piece in that case. And we're down on time somehow. Spent a lot of time on that move. I say his bishop's a horrible piece, but it is actually contributing to his position. It's kind of preventing me from making the type of progress that I want to make. Okay, again, kind of a weird move. His knight's no longer pinned to this piece. Thinking about a6, b5. Just to like lock that bishop in. He doesn't have any good breaks. a6. If king here, like knight king here. And pieces aren't necessarily guaranteed to come off for him, so I am I'm liking this. I'm liking this bishop in the corner here for me. Okay, here, I was going to go king here to prevent him from being able to free his knight. So let's go ahead and do that. Noticeably, I give him a check. But it doesn't seem to work, does it? Doesn't seem to work quite yet. And we're going to finish b5. And the pressure remains. The pressure remains. My pieces are very coordinated at the moment. I feel like my position is easier to play than his. Though, do I necessarily see the continuation? No. Okay, now he's threatening to check. But he's not threatening it because it doesn't work. So I'm going to play b5 for now. And then maybe knight here. Further reinforce my rook. Maybe bishop takes now. The move still doesn't make any sense. Okay. Just start with knight here. Knight here, knight here. It's fine. Now I'm seeing knight here, although, again, I've taken away a square from my bishop. That might have been important. Might have been important. Though notice that my bishop's protected, so maybe I don't care. Alright, he's getting a lot of space. And I'm like kind of just confused about how to use my pieces. And we're running out of time, which is very annoying. Very annoying. Do I really want to open up his bishop? Maybe I go here. Just eyeball that pawn. Guessing rook, knight here as the option. He's just going to fall back, but then we're going to jump the knight in to the new square. And now I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. We need to play a lot faster than we are. Rook's getting hit. Advance the rook again. His rook knight is pinned. And now we're threatening to take. This position has become a little bit more awkward here. But we'll see. It's low time control, anything can happen. Okay, I feel like I can just take that now. Maybe I'm mistaken. I guess I am mistaken there. You can take with the king. Still, I mean, come on. My knight is so much better than your bishop. So much better than your bishop. My pieces are so much better than your pieces. So I'm feeling okay here. Close the position. So we're gonna play here, but we're in time, right? Maybe not. just doesn't seem like a good move. Gonna try and trap his king now. It's like knight here. Make things difficult for him. Again, preparing this move. And I don't know how he stops checkmate now. And yeah, I feel like checkmate's coming in one move. It was a good game. We definitely sped up when we had to. And I was confident in our pieces. So let's see if we actually had an advantage there. Did I never switch to the analysis screen for that one game? Wow, okay. Anyway. Okay, let's look at the game. I don't like the way he played the opening. Trading off his light squared bishop. I think black's pretty comfortable after that. And then we get these damage his pawn structure and everything. It's just so easy to play on our end. And then the computer seems to like the decision. Let me go to analysis. Okay, that's why it wasn't working earlier. Anyway. Sorry. Computer seems to be fine with all our decisions. Queen c2. We just have it wants knight c5 earlier, but knight here, yeah, okay, it does want queen c4. It does favor the queen trade, which I'm happy to see because I think I made the right call there. Because if I don't, maybe he's getting ideas of this, even though I don't know, his knight's just kind of annoying here with the ability to access that square, so nipping that in the bud. And our piece has just become really active on his weaknesses, and he becomes seemingly pretty tangled up. But let's see if we actually do we maintain our advantage. Yes. We're just slightly ahead at the whole game. Our pieces are just slightly better. As a result, we have easier play. And then we're able to just make these subtle threats over and over again. And then once we liquidate these two pieces, compare my knight to his bishop. His bishop's permanently going to be dead for the rest of the game. He goes here, I take. And then, you know, maybe my rook's a little bit unhappy, but it's not a permanent thing. Because his rook's tied to keeping our rook unhappy. So I don't know if I had a solid plan here, but my plan is to just move the rook over. It wants rook a4, which I was thinking about, but just never got around to playing it for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, I did here. Seems like there's no way to prevent checkmate anymore. Recommended move is bishop and c4. So he has to sacrifice a whole minor piece so he can stay alive. His king's a little bit overextended. And then when he moves the rook away, it's just mate in 2. Yeah. So again, in the Alapin, which the Alapin is c3, I always respond with knight f3. Sorry, knight f6. And I also do this with the Smith-Morra to end up in the same thing, unless I feel like playing d takes c3, which whenever I do that, I usually lose pretty quickly, but sometimes I do it anyway because it's fun. But anyway, yeah. Anything else? Yeah, so the reason why this move looks so weird to me is because usually white tries to set up his bishop here and queen here and, you know, checkmate me. It's generally the whole point of having the center. But then they do this and, well, their center is getting damaged. If they end up with the hanging pawns, trading off 2 minor pieces was not the way to go. And here they just allow me, like if knight takes, like, yeah, like look at his pawn structure. He's got 2 isolated pawns on the queen side, and we can defend this relatively easily, as well as build up was very naturally in the center. Now maybe our bishop doesn't have the greatest plan, but our knight's gonna be fine. So really the only piece we have to worry about is his knight. And comparatively, I'd like the dynamics of which pieces are effective. I feel like his knight has the potential to be annoying, but it wasn't. So good game. That was midday 36. Happy to get 1-1. Let's go ahead and update the score. Oops, we did it. Also, I think I messed up the analysis on the first game, so let me go ahead and go back to do that.